What's up everyone, it's my Yard here. Now, yesterday Smack Talks basically said that WWF Royal Rumble on the Dreamcast is the worst WWE/F game, wrestling game of all time. Well, I beg to differ. This one could be arguably said as one of the worst wrestling games ever made that had so much promise. This is Wrestlemania 18 on the GameCube. I'm not going to show you the tables and ladders match, I'm going to show you a four-way cage match, because I want to link WWE 2K15 into this as well. I'll start off with why Wrestlemania 18 is so bad. It's bad. You have 4 grapple moves basically in the front, and let me just read the manual right here. Let's have a look. See. You've got basically 2 different types of strikes, attacks mainly. You have evading grapples to go behind. But overall, there wasn't that many move combinations you could do. The plus side about WrestleMania 18 was you were able to have awesome ragdoll physics. Granted, it doesn't really work when people are falling off the cage, but you could do a rock bottom, and if there was 2 people nearby, they would get hit with that same move as well, just by this whole splash. Here we go, scoop slam. There, I'm just going to wait for a moment. You've probably already seen it in the footage, some bodies hitting each other on a drop kick, which happens in SmackDown vs Raw and WWE 2K games as well. But when you actually have a suplex and someone's on the mat, and their body lands onto the person on the mat, it's a great effect, and they do stay down for a bit as well. It's something you would expect in a game such as WWE 2K14. I doubt we're going to see that in 2K15, it has to be said. Especially when we've only seen one-on-one matches at the present moment. It's one of those cool things. This match is so fun as well. For cage matches, you basically, the superstars get up the cage right to the very top very quickly, and then somehow they go, my bones aren't working. So they're all dependent on momentum. You have a flashing life meter essentially, depending on how well. Sort of like a No Mercy. If it's red, you're really hot. Blue, you're basically dead. So if you're climbing when you're blue, it's going to take a lot longer than if you're climbing up in the red gauge. Makes sense. Of course it does. There's drop toe hold by Regal. The roster was the first time to have Scott Hall as Scott Hall, not Razor Ramon, and pretty much the only time he was in the game. He was promptly then removed afterwards, unfortunately, because of the huge fiasco. We'll talk about those days every so often, because the immortal plane ride of doom involving Mr. Perfect and a few other guys as well. It was a pretty heated. It sounded like it was a party in the 80s. That's how bad it was. Now this one even had shut up seagulls. Now there was even springboards on this. Top rope attacks again. Only 2 top rope attacks: a standing and a sitting one. Standing and a folding one. Not including finishers. That would be different, because obviously then Jeff couldn't have a swanton, which he does do in this match. But it's cool. Like I was doing it in one particular match, superplex of top rope, and someone was lying flat on the mat nearby, and both our guys land on him, and it looked awesome. And yet in a game that's out, what year did this come out? Let's have a look on the box, shall we? This was 2002. Of course it was. That's WrestleMania 18. The game that came out in 2002. To have ragdoll physics essentially, but 2K15 12 years later still doesn't have a variation of it. Is quite depressing. I mean, even All Stars, WWE All Stars, one of my most favourite wrestling games, loosely, that you can say for combos, had great combinations for grabbing people in midair and stuff, but for ragdoll, doing a superplex, you couldn't hit someone that was on the mat. This is, granted, it's quite basic, but it still works. If you had someone up in an electric chair and you drove off the top rope, you could do a doomsday device. Oh my god, 3 people climbing the cage at the same time. My bones. It did have, because it was a Ukes game as well, like THQ, done by Ukes, you do see quite a few like older animations for certain moves in the game that were from the SmackDown games. Execution! It was one of those cool things about it. Taunting also wouldn't gain you momentum for your finishers. I think it would help you for your stats, for your lighting bar, but not much else. Regal falls down, you fall down. It's a weird folding animation as well. Countering system was a 2-button counter system as well. See, Jeff Hardy hit in the middle of the leap, Edge still took damage. It's great. It was fantastic. I was going to say this is the worst game. If you see the tables, and I might just embed some video footage just now. Swanton! Ah, lovely. Tables were the most oversized weapons. Same for the ladders and same for the chairs. They're oversized. I will make another video. Just think of it. I'll show you the oversized thing. Baba Cutter! And Jeff Hardy's neck landed on Edge's ankle. And Edge stayed down a bit longer because of it. It's brilliant. That's what we want to see. If we're doing a superplex, we want to land on someone that's trying to pick us up. It's like for that OMG superplex to the outside. You've seen it in WWE programming. There's loads of people outside doing the massive high spots, and then someone does a superplex and everyone catches them on the floor. It could easily be done, but will it be done in this year's game? Doubt it. But I'm leaving this match unedited as well. I just want to show you. This had Hell in a Cell match as well. I might show each match type each day, and my phone's going off. So let me just pause the video very briefly and critically dub after it. Here we go. Dub. Bump in the night, bump in the night. Why do I try and do my commentaries in one take, and then when you have a game shop, you sometimes do get phone calls, and this is just one of those occurrences when you have a busy shop. Frankly, I have staff, but sometimes when the phone goes, things happen. Anyway, where were we? Ragdolls, ragdoll physics. Look at the cage. Oh! I was going to say this is the worst game ever, even though it has lack of animations. It's underrated. I'll whisper in the wind into Edge. It's sort of bizarre, over the top. I think if you had 4 people playing, it could be hysterical. I just made it AI versus AI versus AI versus AI. And seems to be fine. Hell in a Cell, you couldn't throw people off the cages, unfortunately. You could put people through the cages, and to get out of the cage, you had to Irish whip them. The cage was... Look! Regal colour onto all 3 men. All 3 men suffered the regal colour. Oh, the after effects of it. It's brilliant. We need more. What do you think is your most underrated wrestling game? Okay, granted there's some games that are really bad. This is pretty bad for the most part, but having ragdoll effects kind of gives it a +1 in my book. But so did Wrestlemania 19 as well, if I recall. I'm crawling about a bit, because I can't remember when it comes to GameCube games. I had them. I had Day of Reckoning as well, and I just can't remember. Long time ago, 10 years, my childhood, I forget things. Adolescence, all those things. Coming near to the end of the match. Oh! See, the longer the match goes, the quicker they get finishers as well, which makes sense. They take more damage, you want that to see a finisher ending quick. Schoolboy. Yeah, Jeff doesn't know the concept of a cage match. Let's go escape the cage on this one. There was no match created in WrestleMania. It was literally, I am Rigo, whipping. German onto... Oh, he dodged the German. You can actually dodge the falling attacks as well if you get the timing right. It's pretty smart for something so basic. Edge-o-matic. Swanton on the back of Regal's head. Edge's going to take advantage of Jeff Hardy being silly. He's taunting, Jeff's taunting. Jeff, Edge has escaped. Super fast Edge wins the match. What other wrestling games would you like me to play? I've got a whole collection. Leave in the comment section below, don't forget to leave a like, and we'll see you soon for more wrestling gaming goodness. See you soon. Bye bye.